Yeah, I mean, it's an extraordinary structure, €2 billion spent on this, and a huge international collaboration of experts and engineers coming together to make that happen. This thing is enormous. I think because there's nothing really around Chernobyl, you can't really get a sense of the scale. You could put it over the Colosseum in Rome, and it would cover the Colosseum.
No way!
Yeah. The other extraordinary thing is because of the radioactive activity around Reactor 4, they actually built this some distance away on wheels and then slid the thing into place. The largest moving man-made object in history on Earth. I mean, just an extraordinary feat of engineering.
So just take us back to when the drone hit. Talk to us a bit about the damage and, I guess, moving forward, what it all means.
Yeah, and I think that it was a moment of, I mean, there's been a lot of moments throughout the Ukraine war where a lot of us have gasped at the television about what's happening, but that really was one of them. It is beyond belief that something like that could happen. The new safe confinement is an extremely advanced system. It's not just a shell, not just a shed. It's actually an air pressure system where you see there's actually two roofs maintaining air pressure around the reactor. When that was punctured with this fire, the fire that lasted more than 10 days, a lot of that radioactive material came out of the reactor. What you have to remember is, as bad as Chernobyl was 40 years ago, 95% of the dangerous material is still in the reactor. What we did here as humanity was basically put a big lid on one of our biggest problems. What Russia did on Valentine's Day was puncture that lid.
Incredible. So there's a hole in it. Can it be patched?
They are working to patch it, but it's not an easy thing. You have to remember this is a state-of-the-art piece of building material. It's several 100 meters up in the air. It would be a complicated construction project at the best of times. You put that in a radioactive fallout zone, it gets a lot harder. You put it in a war zone, it's next to impossible. I think what we mustn't forget is that nuclear radiation and the material in there doesn't discriminate. It doesn't pick Ukrainians, Russians, or Belarusians. It will affect everybody. So by targeting this site, which to me is tantamount to a war crime, is going to harm many, many people far beyond this conflict zone.
Was there an element of sort of human hubris about some of the thoughts about Chernobyl and about the way that they could manage the risk? And obviously the disaster, when it actually happened, there were mistakes made.
Yeah, I don't think it was underestimated. I don't think that's the case at all. I think the original confinement that was put in place immediately after the disaster in the summer and kind of autumn of 1986 was a very quick, urgent patch. The new safe confinement, I think, really for me speaks to the best of human nature. It shows what we can do when we put aside our differences, we bring in experts from around the world and we collaborate to make something happen for the greater good. What that Russian drone strike did was set us back and show exactly why these kind of conflicts are so damaging, not just to the people involved, but to the wider global community as well.